a £140 pair of boots from a UK high street brand. The sole split after 3 months, and on the same high street, a different brand sold leather boots with stitched soles and proper Italian leather for the same money. Same price tag, completely different shoe. We ranked 10 UK women's shoe brands from worst to best. 3 are a skip, 4 depend entirely on what you pick, and 3 are genuinely worth your money. We checked the materials, pulled the company's house filings, and read thousands of Trustpilot reviews. And the gap between the best and the worst on this list is wider than any price tag would suggest. Starting with a brand that sells shoes for £6 and made 10 billion last year. Number 10. Primark. Walk into any Primark shoe aisle and the first thing you notice is the price. £6 for sandals, £12 for ballet flats, £18 for ankle boots. Primark has 476 stores and made nearly £10 billion in revenue last year, making it the biggest clothing retailer in the UK by store count. But pick up one of those £6 sandals and bend the sole. It flexes like cardboard. The uppers are synthetic. The soles are glued on, not stitched. The insoles compress flat after about 3 wears, and there is 0 arch support. A podiatrist on TikTok walked through a Primark shoe aisle and rated what she found. Most of the women's styles scored badly for foot health. A few, she said, to avoid entirely for anything beyond a quick night out. On Trustpilot, Primark sits at 1.9 stars across more than 3,000 reviews. The shoe complaints are consistent. Soles splitting, straps snapping, blisters after a single wear. For a festival or a hen do where the shoes are basically disposable, Primark is fine. For anything else, your feet are paying the price your wallet didn't. Number 9. New Look. New Look shoes sit between £20 and £45, so you would expect a real jump from Primark. There is a jump, it is just not as big as you would hope. The uppers are still synthetic on most styles. The construction is still glue-based. What you are paying for is trendier design and faster turnaround. New Look gets catwalk shapes into stores quickly, and the silhouettes look more considered than Primark's range. But the shoe itself, the sole, the stitching, how it holds up after 20 wears is not dramatically different. Sizing is the biggest frustration. A size 6 sandal fits perfectly, but a size 6 boot from the same brand pinches. Customer reviews flag this constantly. If you want a shoe that photographs well for one season, New Look delivers. If you want one that survives more than one season, keep watching. Number 8. ASOS. ASOS is online only. No fitting rooms, no chance to feel the leather before you commit. Their own brand shoes range from £18 to £55, and buying them is essentially a gamble. The gap between how a shoe looks in the studio-lit product image on the ASOS website and how it looks on your actual foot can be significant. Materials are similar to New Look. Synthetic uppers, basic construction, but credit where it's due. ASOS offers one of the widest ranges of wide-fit shoes on the entire UK market. If you have wider feet, the selection here is genuinely better than almost anywhere else on the high street. That alone keeps them from ranking lower. The returns policy is generous, which helps offset the online risk. But you're paying New Look prices with the added hassle of a delivery and return cycle every time you guess wrong. Those are the 3 to skip. But the next 4 are more complicated because some of them make shoes worth buying and some of them don't. It depends entirely on what you pick. These are the hit or miss brands. Number 7. Next. Next is the safe choice, the dependable one. The I need work shoes by Friday and I know these won't fall apart brand. Their range runs from £28 to £75 and for that money you get a decent shoe. You'll find real leather on their mid-range and higher-priced options. The soles are more durable than anything below. The stitching holds up. For a daily commuter flat or a knee-high boot, Next does the job. What makes Next really interesting right now isn't the shoes, though. This company has over £6 billion in revenue, and they're buying up struggling British shoe brands like a property developer at a closing down sale. In January 2026, Next acquired Russell and Bromley for just £2.5 million. We will come back to what that means later. Next is a hit if you stay under £50. Above that, other brands on this list give you noticeably more for your money. That's the miss. Number 6. Clark's. Clark's was founded in 1825 by two Quaker brothers in Somerset. 200 years of shoemaking, the desert boot, the wallaby. For decades, Clark's was the standard for quality everyday shoes in the United Kingdom. Your mum wore Clark's, your gran definitely did. But the Clark's of 2026 is a different company. It's no longer family-owned. It's controlled by Viva Goods, a Hong Kong-listed investment company. Revenue dropped to £871 million. They shed 1,200 jobs. £100 million in sales vanished in a single year. Customers noticed. Reviews consistently say newer Clark's shoes don't hold up the way older ones did. Sizing has become inconsistent. Prices are going up, while the feel of the shoe in your hand goes down. Clark's did return to profit in 2025, posting £31 million after a £39 million loss the year before. They're lowering prices on popular styles and launching new comfort ranges like Cloud Steppers. The Cushion Plus technology is still genuinely good for all-day comfort. If all you care about is how your feet feel after 8 hours on a shop floor, Clark's remains a solid option at £50 to £120. But the Clark's your mum trusted? That version of the brand is mostly a memory now. The hit is their comfort technology. The miss is expecting the heritage quality at the current price point. Number 5. Office. Office is two things at once. A retailer stocking other brands like Converse and Dr. Martens and its own label. We're ranking the own brand shoes because that's where Office as a shoe company stands or falls. Own brand Office shoes sit between £40 and £90. At that price, you're getting better materials than the fast fashion tier. Some real leather, more refined design you can try before you buy, and the staff tend to know their shoes. The inconsistency is what keeps Office as a hit or miss. Some shoes are excellent value. Others feel overpriced by £30. Shop their leather styles, skip the cheapest end, and you can find solid shoes. Just don't assume the name on the bag guarantees anything. Number 4. Dune. Dune was founded in 1992 by Daniel Rubin on Oxford Street in London. His grandfather was a shoemaker who came to the UK from Russia in 1895 and set up a workshop in Whitechapel. Prices range from £70 to £160, and the top-end Dune shoes genuinely compete with brands twice the price. But Dune has a split personality. Their mainline collection uses real leather, solid construction, proper finishing. Then there's Head Over Heels, their lower-priced sub-label that still carries the Dune name. The quality gap between the two is enormous, and if you don't know to look for it, you'll overpay for a fast fashion shoe in premium packaging. Long-time Dune customers on Trustpilot say the same thing, beautiful on the shelf. But soles splitting after limited use and leather that ages poorly. For a brand charging over £100, that stings. Stick to mainline Dune leather, that's the hit. Head Over Heels is the miss. Those are the 4 hit or miss brands. And if the high street shoe market sounds bleak after that, the 3 brands coming next might change how you think about shoes entirely, because all 3 made genuinely excellent products. And 2 of them no longer exist as independent businesses. Number 3. Kurt Geiger. Kurt Geiger opened on Bond Street in London in 1963, and today it is the biggest premium footwear brand in the UK. Revenue hit £400 million last year, and in 2025, Steve Madden bought the entire company for £289 million. The Rainbow Kensington bag made Kurt Geiger an Instagram fixture. They run concessions inside Harrods and Selfridges. Shoes range from £80 to £250. For the Kurt Geiger London main line, the quality delivers. Real leather, distinctive design, the kind of shoe that gets compliments at a dinner party. But Kurt Geiger also runs Carvela at a lower price point. The gap in quality between a £250 Kurt Geiger London heel and a £79 Carvela loafer is massive. Both carry the same parent name, only one earns it. Buy mainline Kurt Geiger London and you are getting a shoe worth the money. Over 5,000 Trustpilot reviews confirm that the London line holds up well. But the same reviews consistently warn about Carvela losing ground on quality. One honest caveat: at this price point you are still partly paying for the brand and the Selfridges concession experience. The leather is good, but it is not Italian artisan level. If that is what you are after, the next 2 brands delivered it. Past tense. Number 2, LK Bennett. LK Bennett was founded in 1990 by Linda Bennett, who opened a single boutique in Wimbledon. The brand became famous because Kate Middleton wore their nude court shoes so consistently that the shoes became inseparable from the royal image, and the quality backed it up. Blake-stitched construction, real leather throughout. Clean lines designed to last years, not months. Prices ran from £150 to £350, but the cost per wear made them genuinely economical. These were shoes women kept for a decade, but LK Bennett went into administration twice. First in 2019, when 15 stores closed, and again in January 2026, when Gordon Brothers, the same investment firm that bought Poundland for £1 the year before, acquired the brand name and intellectual property, but not the stores. 9 standalone shops and 13 concessions were left running, closing down sales at 60% off or more. Revenue had fallen to £42 million. Losses were growing every quarter. If you want LK Bennett shoes, their website is still selling remaining stock at deep discount. Once that stock is gone, the brand becomes a licensing deal and a question mark. Gordon Brothers used the same playbook on Laura Ashley. They sold that to another company a year later. The shoes were brilliant, the business wasn't, and that exact same story is about to repeat itself. Number 1. Russell and Bromley. The Russell and Bromley story starts in 1820, when John Clifford Russell set up a shoemaking business in Sussex. His granddaughter Elizabeth married a shoemaker named George Bromley, and by 1880 the first Russell and Bromley store opened in Eastbourne. For 147 years, 5 generations of the same family made some of the finest shoes on the British High Street. Every pair was designed in the UK and manufactured by specialist makers in Italy, Spain and Portugal. Italian leather, proper construction, the kind of shoe Theresa May wore to Parliament, Kate Middleton wore to Wimbledon, and Princess Diana was photographed in at Ascot. At £150 to £400, these were investment shoes in the truest sense. And in January 2026, the same month LK Bennett fell, Russell and Bromley entered administration. Revenue had been falling year after year. They had hired Billy Piper for their ad campaigns and brought in a new creative director as part of a 5-year turnaround plan. But the funding never came through. Next bought the brand for £2.5 million. 332 people lost their jobs. 5 generations of family ownership ended with a signature on an insolvency document. 147 years of heritage sold for less than the price of a London flat. Next now runs 4 Russell and Bromley locations, 4 stores in Chelsea, Mayfair, Bluewater and Richmond. You can also find them on the Next website and through Brand Alley at discounted prices. Whether the quality holds under new ownership is the question nobody can answer yet. The pattern that connects all 10 is the same one we found with clothing. The brands making the cheapest shoes are generating billions. The brands making the best shoes are going bankrupt. The UK high street is reshaping itself around volume and speed, and the companies that invested in quality materials and proper construction could not compete with the ones selling synthetic shoes for £6. The shoe brands that collapsed in recent years, Russell and Bromley and LK Bennett, were the ones that refused to cut corners on materials. The ones that survive the next decade will be the ones that find a way to make quality accessible at a price the high street can sustain. Whether Next can do that with the Russell and Bromley name remains to be seen. Next time you walk into a shoe shop, do one thing differently. Pick up the shoe, turn it over, press the sole, check whether it is stitched or glued, feel the weight of the leather in your hand. That 10 seconds tells you more about what you are buying than anything on the price tag or the shop window. And if you have not seen which UK clothing brands made our list, and which ones are quietly robbing you blind, that video is on screen now. Subscribe so you do not miss the next one.